Dear Pixie, you asked us. You have spoken before regarding 5G and have said that the most likely probability is that this will not work on a global scale. Is this still the case? And does this also stand for other black box programs such as chemtrails, vaccines, and similar attempts to weaponize our outer and inner environments? We reiterate all we have said regarding the electromagnetic scrambling system that you call 5G. As we have said before, there are two versions of such electromagnetic frequency broadcasts that are both given the same name that you call 5G. One of these is indeed that which you call weapon, that we refer to as a black box program. The other is a watered down version that cannot truly be referred to as a weapon, for although it is still harmful and has no place within the natural organic world and systems, it does not carry with it the ability to destroy as the first one. Whilst there are pockets that shall have and are being equipped with the original weaponized version, these shall work only in very small areas. We speak not as space when we say area, but as a space-time bubble. Meaning this will not be global and it will not be planetary-wide. It shall line up with areas of natural organic life that have been contracted with or karmically lined up with as a tool for awakening the masses, if you will, as its most predominant cause-effect. It is, of course, a convergence. The original 5G weaponized system will not work and it will not sustain globally. The watered-down version may sustain for longer and within a greater reach, but this too will not sustain long-term upon your planet. The other black box programs hold much chaos and confusion within them, and they operate solely as reasons to generate fear and control amongst your peoples. Regarding the vaccine programs, even if the substance itself used as vaccine was totally harmless to the human body, it would still be causing harm due to the fear generated around it and the fear within the individuals receiving it. This, as a global planetary-wide program, will not work and will not sustain. The black box programs are all being dismantled through the consciousness structures of aware and awake, heart-centered humanity that are operating as a quantum field. These individuals are connected to future selves through a network or grid that stretches far through space and time on the quantum level. We could and do refer to these future self aspects, as they are individualized beings and consciousness structures in and of themselves, as angels, light beings, plasma beings, avatars, ascended master templates, living intelligent sacred geometrics, DNA light structures, extraterrestrials, ultradimensionals, planetary systems, logos and logoi structures, and time travelers. These collectives and supercollectives of beings will not allow damage to the quantum field beyond a certain level. Balance is overseen. Balance is allowed to flourish and play out as a polarity game upon third-dimensional planets. Once this balance moves into imbalance, and this moves out of range and into a potential for harming the quantum biosphere and landscape, then this will not be allowed, if you will. Yet this is not as an overlord or angel tapping at the rule book and preventing events from taking place. This is simply the organic structure itself moving back into polarity balance. It has been this way for eons upon your planet. Yet your planet is now undergoing a new process. You call this ascension. Yet the word ascension or enlightenment or great awakening or shift does not truly express in its fullness what is occurring at your current time nexus or now moment. You are moving as a planet into a new polarity field. You have moved into that which we call the transitionary stage. Know this is akin to cocoon within the transformative process between caterpillar and butterfly. Within the dimensional model we have presented to you as a teaching tool so that you may be able to comprehend the process, then we would say to you that your planet and the time-space surrounding your planet, which includes your solar system and galaxy, is that which we would refer to as fourth dimensional. This is not to be confused with the term fourth density, which is a term used within a most different but equally accurate model. Your planet is moving into fourth density, which equates to fifth dimensional using our model. Your planet was third dimensional until your spring equinox, March 21st in your year 2020, when it began to move into a fourth dimensional system. Events upon your planet within the political arenas of several countries, most predominantly your America, the new Atlantis, and your Europe lands, the new Lemuria, have hastened the shift into the fourth dimensional field. Simultaneously, you have a raise in polarity which changes the structure of balance at every level. The polarity density can no longer anchor as it once could. Black box programs cannot sustain within this new eco-fabric of the fourth dimensional field matrix. You may feel that the two-world split that you see manifesting before you shows the awakened individuals who see and know truth, and the hoodwinked, manipulated, sleeping masses who subscribe to the old system and the old ways that presents as an inverted system false matrix structure. We call this the fallen system, for indeed, within the higher mind matrix of true reality, it has fallen, and it fell long time past, and many moons ago. This two-world split is a correct presentation. However, those within the fallen system are no longer asleep and ignorant. Neither are they awake and seeing truth. They are in the lower astral realms, the lower harmonics of the fourth dimension, which is a place of chaos, confusion, fear, and submissive acquiescence to that fear. This, whilst not as easy or as simple or indeed as comfortable as the third dimensional sleep state, as in ignorance is bliss, is still an awakening. A rude awakening indeed, and this is that we have spoken of since we began our communications with you, dear Pixie, and asked you to move into the self-desire of working for the light and taking our messages into the public arena. These individuals, your family members, your brothers and sisters, they are awakened by confusion. This occurred within your first 13 days of your month of May in your year of 2020, most especially upon the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th and 9th of May. The causation of these awakenings were astrological alignments, planetary movements, solar flare energetics of magnetism and electric frequency, galactic core gamma ray light fields, DNA awakening codices passed by the already awakened individuals predominantly through your social media worldwide internet systems, and spikes within the crystal river field that you call Schumann resonance. The reason for all these natural occurrences is exactly as we have said: polarity rays and dimensional shift. Those within the service to self factions upon your planet are aware of these polarity raises and dimensional shifting within the people and organic structures of Earth and within the cosmic arena. Their aim is to invert the very structure of your planetary geology and of the time-space around that geology, including the solar system and galactic construction and architecture. They have been working upon this for a very long time, if you will. This involves control on all levels, from the Dark Masters and Magicians within the pyramidical structure you know as Illuminati, Global Elite or Cabal. Your deep state players, whilst they work diligently to preserve the higher deep state players, sacrificing only those who are expendable to the structure, they are prepared to allow some of the higher deep state players to fall. As long as they can preserve a percentage of their structure, then the Dark Masters and Magicians at the top of the pyramid can and will continue to invert the systems of nature, both earthly and cosmic, in order to halt or prevent the polarity rays and the dimensional shift. Yet due to the polarity rays itself and the laws of balance overseen by the galactic Logos and Logoi angelic ascended teams we spoke of, which are consciousness structures of aware and awake heart-centered humanity that are operating as a quantum field, the Dark Master technologies, plans, plots, programs and operations are subject to the very laws of planetary and cosmic nature that they are intending and aiming to control. They are becoming aware of this and are thus changing tactics by moving through the many different plans that they have held in place for many years, including devising new plans. Yet these plans are, in and of themselves, creating the polarity rays and dimensional shift. If they move in as forceful head-on attack, they are met with declarations of sovereignty coupled with unconditional love that are able to move into the cosmic consciousness field and hold their structure as a template that affects the timelines. This is more than static interference that they can work with due to its cohesive focus. We speak here of the declarations of sovereignty and the denials of authorization and permissions made by the many cries of "we do not consent" amongst the awake and aware peoples of Earth at ground level. This stands as a template that is lack of authorization. The service to self factions of dark magicians are aware that without acquiescence and authorizations, their machinations and agendas simply cannot and will not work. Holding humanity as a slave race through symbolism of closing their mouths, through covering the mouth through cloths and maskings, is the symbol of acquiescence and ownership and inability to deny authorization. Each individual that covers the mouth, retreating into the repressed throat chakra energetic, is thus taken as a sign of authorization, as the individual willingly muzzled themselves, if you will. Yet still, the declarations of sovereignty stand as templates within the field that add to the creation and manifestation of timelines and realities, and thus the polarity rays and dimensional shift. This is coupled with the few highly aware individuals who utilized the face coverings and masks as disguise, embracing the power of silence, whilst simultaneously making declarations of sovereignty through cohesive focus, thus creating a ripple within the symbolism of slavery and acquiescence. What we are saying here is that fourth dimensional consciousness, holding dense polarity, operates at strategic battle or cosmic chess game within the overall consciousness of that planet. Whilst this plays out, you will feel the awakening, the light, the expansion, the ascension, and the unconditional love, alongside the restriction, repression, holding back, dumbing down, and control through fear. The sensitive ones cannot be empathic to the love reality only, for if they wish to remain open to the rays in consciousness and the bliss that entails, they will also remain open to the control strategies and the fears. There are those of you that will teach that you should reject all fear and concentrate only on the love light and light love portions and aspects of this consciousness shift. Yet we would say to you, this is not conducive to riding the waves of ascension when existing within a fourth dimensional collective consciousness field upon a predominantly geologically third dimensional planet. The path here is integration, and we may refer to this as instantaneous integration. This would involve utilizing any fear-based templates for learning, awakening, and teaching. If you, as light workers, wanderers, wayshowers, and starseeds, ignore fear in preference of love on a wide and grand scale, then you allow the dark structures to come into your reality and manifest eventualities that create fear and utter panic, for the collective remains unintegrated and therefore vulnerable. If you integrate fear on a wide and grand scale, then you close that gateway for fear-based eventualities. For you create integration within the overall consciousness structure. This creates a netting or web within the consciousness field that acts as a barrier to service to self constructs of mind. This is a trapping system, if you will, within the fourth dimension that traps the service to self magicians at their own game, for that which they fear the most. Let us repeat, that which they fear the most is a cohesive and integrated society. Why? Why do they fear this? Because a cohesive and integrated society is a unified structure of such unimaginable power that no lower vibrational, service to self, fear-based structure can withstand. The reasons for this is due to integration being intertwined with integrity. It is, in and of itself, one and the same. Integrity leads to truth and indeed to justice. This is that which your integration of fear creates. It creates truth and justice. Therefore, whichever move the Dark Masters make, it is being rapidly neutralized, deflected, dismantled and disarmed by the Light Brigade, those who work with rapid and instantaneous integration of fear and fear-based templates. You who do this, who fall into fear and integrate that fear, utilizing that fear as a teaching tool, you are the leaders within the Ascension movement. As we have been saying to you, for the period of time we have delivered our messages in linear space and time to and through our conduit, Magenta Pixie. From our perspective, this download has been delivered in but one moment, yet spans several years, in linear time. You who do this work carry the others through. Those lost within the lower dimensional planes of the fourth dimension, within an astral confusion, can indeed be lifted up by you, the torchbearers, way-showers, and leaders of light. You cannot do the work for them, for this is an individual journey. But you can indeed shine your light and lead the way. So when you ask us of the black box programs, can you see how the fear of these programs, once integrated, becomes the neutralization of these programs? This neutralization within cohesive fields thus sets as a sixth dimensional template and becomes manifest within the third dimension. This manifests as neutralization of 5G technology, toxic vaccines, and other chemical biowarfare, bringing forward copy manifestations of this original technology that is harmless to you. These harmless copy manifestations are all part of the game itself, that of polarity raising and dimensional shifting. As we have said before, your life is currently a movie, one you are a participatory character within. This, indeed, if you allow it to be so, shall be, and is the most exciting, enlightening, and activating movie you have ever seen, for it brings about your ascension into that which we call the New World or New Earth. Not New World Order, but New Earth Paradigm. Not controlled slave race, but free and sovereign multidimensional beings. This is your future. This is your reason for your incarnation. Together, unified as one at this time. Know this, and go work your magic. We are the white-winged collective consciousness of 9. What is karma? Are there ways we can balance this and become karma-free? Is there a particular nutritional plan we should follow for ascension? Do we increase our karmic balance by eating certain foods? How can we utilize sex magic to work with karma and move through ascension? There are many lessons we can learn from the peoples of ancient Lemuria, a civilization that existed before our known history on planet Earth. As we move through an ascension process collectively, we move back into a new Lemuria, and we take with us all the knowledge we have accumulated since those times. In this transmission from the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, key codes are presented for cellular memory recall, linking the reader beyond Atlantis and into the harmonious frequencies of the first physical civilization on the Earth, Lemuria. The 9 respond to questions using the Lemurian way as a template. Key-coded responses trigger activations within the reader as they receive the wisdom codes, standing as rainbow warriors of Gaia, moving into abundance, alchemy, and Stargate ascension. This transmission is dear to my heart, and I'm so very pleased to announce my new book, Lessons from a Living Lemuria.